Hey, good morning. What is up, guys? So welcome back to Bama Jaybird Resell. I'm Josh. Great to have you with me. I know I didn't get a video out last week. I apologize. I've been kind of busy. Just a lot of things going on, and that's all right. It happens sometimes. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to show you a few things that have sold. Pretty good weekend of sales. We had 17 items that are going out for $843.46. Kind of glad to see some of this stuff going. I've worked really hard the last week or so trying to list and catch up on listing. I have been listing, but just not as much as I should have because I've been so wrapped up in other things. And man, isn't it amazing how listing affects sales? It always affects sales. We can say, well, eBay is doing this or eBay's doing that. We can blame it on other things, but most oftentimes, and I've said this a lot in my videos, when you're having a problem with eBay and a problem with sales, you need to look at yourself in the mirror because it's probably something that I'm doing or something that you're doing. So, when we change our habits and we get things where they need to be, and we get ourselves in line, we hold ourselves accountable, it's amazing how much better the sales will go and how much better we'll do. So let's take a look at some of this stuff. It's a pretty good mixture of items today. These first couple are VCRs, and everyone pretty much knows about this that resells. I know some of you don't like to mess with these, so I don't list VCRs all the time. What I normally do is I will source for them, and when I get 6 or 8 collected up, I will do a round of testing and listing on my VCRs and VCR DVD combo players. But if you get the right ones, they can be really profitable. I shipped one out of this last batch at the end of last week that sold for $70. And then I got these two, not quite as good, but still decent sales. This Toshiba, this is a model SD-V295. This one sold for $35 plus shipping. And in case you don't know or aren't familiar with the way I do this, I used to go like from least valuable sale to most valuable. I'm not really doing that, though I do have a couple I'm going to save toward the end of this, but I'm not real concerned about that. Also, whatever price I give you, you have to add a shipping cost to that because I do all my items with calculated shipping. So I don't know how you prefer to list. I know we all have different approaches. Some are doing the pass the savings on to the seller. Some still do free shipping on everything and just kind of work the shipping cost into their price. I started out just the easy route, I guess you could say, doing calculated shipping because I felt like I was less likely to make an error that way. And if you are a new reseller, I can tell you this, as long as you weigh and measure really well and you know kind of what size the package is going to be, if you will do calculated shipping, it does eliminate a lot more possibility of taking a loss or potentially just not getting what you should for an item, So it is probably the easiest way starting out to list items. So let's take a look at the next one. This was a Sony, and this is just a Sony VCR only. And this one is, let's see, this is model SLV-679HF, and this one sold for $47.87 plus shipping. So the next item I got going out is a Polo Ralph Lauren Woodsman. This is a long sleeve button down. Now we're getting to the time of year where these are going to start to sell a little better. I know it's hard to see this in the light as it is, but it's a really good pattern. It's kind of got Christmassy colors, reds and greens in it and a plaid. But those shirts, they're not super high dollar, but I got $17.87 for it. The trick behind making money off of clothing in terms of at least these mass-produced things that you find a lot of, you find a ton of Ralph Lauren if you go out in the stores. And a lot of times it's overpriced, even at thrift shops. But when you can get it at a good price, you can price it to move. And that's the trick. I say that a lot. But the key is to buy low enough that you can price your items at a competitive level where you can move yours faster than everyone else's and be able to have a low enough buy cost in it so you have room to promote it. Because most of these categories in the clothing areas, there's exceptions, yes, but majority of these that do sell well, they have lots of sales, thousands of sales for this brand, but you've got to be able to have room to promote it. You got to be able to have room to, again, cut your price down toward the bottom if you want to see it move fast. That doesn't mean that you can't sometimes make a hit on something and, just the right buyer come along that doesn't care about money and make more money off of a particular sale. But if you're in the business of moving stuff quickly and trying to turn your capital over and make good money off of reselling, you need to make sure that you pay attention to all those factors, how much you have in the buy cost, where your price point is, so that it attracts more buyers. A lot of people like me, if I'm shopping on eBay or any other platform, I'm going to sort least to highest price and begin there. I'm not necessarily going to buy the cheapest one every time. That's not it. But I'm not going to buy the most expensive version either, or most expensive option. Because I'm looking for a deal. And I think most people, especially in this economy that we're faced with right now with the soaring inflation, I think most people are looking for deals. People are still going to buy. I know there's this worry that, as the economy does what it's doing and continues to, we continue to battle this inflationary stuff that's going on, that we're going to really suffer greatly from sales. And I'm not saying sales won't slow down. I think we're all being more careful with our spending, with our money. But people are not going to quit buying. Christmas is still coming. Fourth quarter is still here. They're going to be looking for deals. So I think in some ways, if you have the right items, you have them priced correctly, this might be a time where we could, do well, because a lot of folks can't afford to go into the store and pay full markup retail price for items. So they're having to look to the secondary market and the resale market. And so just keep that in mind. Keep your buy costs low. Keep your prices really competitive. Keep them on the lower end, the bottom third or so of the price points of the sold comps that you see on these flooded categories. Make sure you've got enough room between your buy cost and your sell price that you can afford to promote, so that you can get more eyes on your option versus someone else's. All right, so let's move on a little bit. I've got several CD sales as usual, right? So I finally got around to listing all of the Christian CDs out of that big CD purchase that I made. And these are all 6 pence none the richer. If I can get them right. This is a set of three. 6 pence none the richer. I sold these for $12.87 plus shipping. These are not super valuable, but still a good sale, and they do sell. So anytime, it wasn't hard. I just sorted these out by artist, dropped the 3 of them on the table, took a few pictures. They're in great condition, almost 13 bucks on them, maybe $14. I don't know. I took an offer. They weren't priced at $12.87 to start with. Things priced at maybe $14.99. But, good sale. Make a little money off of them. Again, I've got 25 cents each, so 75 cents into $12.87. It's not a home run sale for $100, but, we have some of those, and we'll take all these little ones too, because they add up to $100 bills. So this next item going out is also from that same CD buy. This is White Snake. It's a 2-disc lot. So the first one here is Greatest Hits, and then we also have White Snake Gold, which is also kind of a compilation Greatest Hits album. So White Snake, a pretty popular band back in the day. These sold for $8.99 plus shipping. All right, so the next item going out is a Bible. This is an NIRV, so it's New International Version, but it's the revised, and this is by Zondervan. This is brand new. Picked this up at a yard sale for $2. Hope you don't have a problem with people selling Bibles. I've had to buy mine. I think I told you that in the past. I know there's some, you can sometimes get them for free, and there's people that hand them out, but it's usually not your higher end Bibles. And this isn't super high end, but you pay up for a high end study Bible. They're costly. And if you can get a better deal for one online, go for it, man. I've had to pay $70, $80, $100 and up sometimes in the past for a good study Bible. All right, moving on, we have the Youngbloods. This is another CD. This is one of those 2-album CDs, the Youngbloods. So this includes Earth Music and Elephant Mountain. Again, 2 albums on this CD, and this sold for $8 plus shipping. All right, next up I have a pair of New Balance Fresh Foam running shoes. These are a size 12. And I think I got like, $7 in these? I got these at my Honey Hole thrift shop, where I get 75% off on shoes a couple times a month. So I get like $7 for these. And these sold for $31.87 plus shipping. $31.87. All right, next up, I have a Little Richard CD. Little Richard, this is also out of my big CD buy. So 25 cents on this one into $10 plus shipping. All right, the next item up is, again, a parted out item. This is from a Cuisinart food processor, and this is the blade, the main blade, AFP7 Smart Power Duet food processor replacement, the chopping blade. This sold for $11.87 plus shipping. I don't remember where I'm at on that. I've sold several parts off of 2 or 3 that I bought. And honestly, when you buy one for $4 to $6, $10 even, and it's got the bowl and the plunger and the lid and the blade, you're going to do pretty well, because all of those are going to sell between $10 and $20 each. So Always pay attention for those. Look out for them because they're really good pickups if it's the right models. Always check them, right? You got to check them. Run your comps. Make sure there's good sell-through. But parting that stuff out, that's going to be a super easy item to ship. All right, so next up, I've got one last CD, and this is Cheap Trick, The Essential. New and sealed. This sold for $14.87 plus shipping on that CD. And again, all of those CDs, 25 cents to 30 cents is what I have in them on the buy cost. All right, so this next item is really cool. I don't pick up a whole lot of glass and ceramic, but this particular item, I found this at a flea mall, and they wanted like 15 bucks for it. And this is Noritake Blue Mesa, or not Mesa Blue. It's Boulder Ridge is the design, but I think it's called Mesa Blue. But anyway, this is really nice. It's got kind of like a Southwest or Native American print around the rim. I don't know if you can really tell a lot about it. Maybe you can see it better on this. This is the little bowl that goes with it. So this is like a chip and dip. Good time of year with football season, I think. Drawing attention to that. I've had that for a while in the store. I actually ordered this off of eBay to put with the item because it makes it more valuable. And I think I gave like $12 for this. So I'm all in about $27 on this particular item, but I sold this for 100 bucks. So I'm gonna come out pretty decent on it. I'll get that shipped out today. Good sale, again, $100 plus shipping on that Noritake piece. Noritake is a good brand. I would never say you should buy everything Noritake, but when you find unique items, a lot of times they're worth more money because there's not as many of those made. Next up, I don't know if you ever sell any of this or not, if you find it, but this is some yarn. This is from the Lion brand, and it's homespun. It's a plum color. I've got 6 of these at my local Goodwill for $2 each, so I got 12 bucks in them, and I sold these for 36 bucks plus shipping. So pretty decent sale. Not as much profit as I would like to have on a purchase like that, but I'm good with it. Sold fast. Sold it about 3 days after I listed it. So it's a quick turnover, make some money, move on, reinvest in something else. All right, this next item is a pair of Levi's 550. These are the 550 3629 Husky. Anybody out there got to raise their hand when they hear the word Husky and say, yes, I too am traumatized by the Husky word. Man, I remember I was always, you know, shorter than everybody else, a little bigger than everybody else. And I remember having to wear those Husky jeans, man. I always felt so embarrassed. I know nobody really knew, but I knew. And so, but you know, you got to get what you got to get. And that's just the way it goes. So, you know, if you think that's funny, that's fine. But if you're in the same ballpark with me, let me know. I'm sure I'm not the only one that had to deal with the Husky section when you was a kid. But those sold for, those are vintage. They're orange tab jeans, sold for $21.99 plus shipping. This next item, everyone knows about this brand, I think, if you're a reseller. If you don't know about this brand, pay attention for Salad Master. Salad Master is an excellent brand, and you will do well with Salad Master most of the time. There's a few exceptions that don't sell for as much money. This is not a super high dollar piece because it's only a lid, but this is like the lid, the 2-handle lid to the fryer, and or it could go on a pot too, like a steamer pot. But this, you see Salad Master written on the handle right there. This sold for $18 plus shipping, and I think I gave like 4 bucks for this. It wasn't a whole lot, so I made a pretty good profit on that item. And then I have 2 more sales. This one is actually just listed these last night, and these sold overnight after I went to bed. But I listed some Oneida flatware, and I had quite a few pieces. These are the long-handled teaspoons, like for iced tea, and I sold these in 2 sets of 5. I had them listed at $29.99 each. I got an offer of $50 for the 2 sets, 25 a piece, and I took it this morning, so 50 bucks for 10 spoons, 50 bucks. And I've got a bunch more listings of this Louisiana pattern Oneida in there. I think it's a discontinued pattern, which usually helps the value. This is not one of the most valuable sets, but pay attention to flatware. There's a lot of money to be made with flatware, and I'm still learning on that. You know, we go in a lot of directions. I'm an everything seller, of course, so you'll keep that in mind. One last sale, and this one was probably the coolest one that I've had, so I was saving this for last for sure, even though it wasn't about saving the biggest money maker, although it is. This is an Ozzy Osbourne Bark at the Moon 8-track. Guys, this is in super, super nice condition. I mean, it is clean, clean, clean. And the color on this, there's no sun fading, no peeling. It's bubbled a little bit where it's turned loose some, the label from the top, but it's still stuck. It's just, you know, how 8-tracks do. You know, you can't buy every media item that you find. There are literally thousands and thousands of items of media out there, be it, you know, movies, DVDs, VHS, 8-tracks, cassettes, CDs, records, you name it. But media can be an extremely profitable category to learn when you know what to look for. And sometimes it's just as much as knowing the right artist. I didn't pick this up because I knew the amount of value it would have. I just knew that it being an 8-track, it being in super clean, nice condition, and it being who it was, that it was going to at least be worth, you know, a few dollars. So I had confidence it was going to sell for a decent amount, you know, $15, $20 maybe. But I paid $1 for this. I looked it up as we were headed the rest of the way home. We had been to see our mama in Georgia. Stopped in a little town in Georgia where I bought this. And when I looked it up, I was floored because they sell for a few $100s. So I listed this at $299. I listed it at the top kind of the market. And I got an offer of $200 on this last night, and I decided to take it. So I turned $1 into $200 in one sale right there with one piece of media. Ozzy Osbourne. That's my best sale of the week. So guys, it's great to hang out with you for a minute. I do have a couple of good videos that I'm working on. I think you're going to enjoy. The one on the records, I think it's going to be super cool. I'm looking forward to getting that out there. That record collection is killer. I've already got the footage from the buy, but I'm wanting to get them laid out and sorted and kind of add some of that to it. Maybe I should just make it 2 videos. Let me know what you think in the comments here. I may just split that into 2 videos, just put some music behind the pick because I didn't do a lot of talking. I was just kind of skimming through them and taking a look to kind of get an idea. So let me know what you think, guys. And you know, that being said, how's your listing going? How have sales been affected here lately for you? I do think eBay's starting to pick up as we're going into the fall and getting closer to the 4th quarter. But I also think that oftentimes what we interpret as sales improving has a lot to do with our work ethic, and it has a lot to do with our consistency and what we're doing listing. Now look, if you're one of those people out there that, I mean, are super consistent and you get your 10, 20 items up every single day, day in and day out without fail. Grams and Pops did the $500 a day thing for a year. I mean, you know, when you can be that consistent and have it going out every single day, then you probably have a better gauge on when eBay's rising and falling in terms of sales for you. But I think even then it has a lot to do with the quality of the inventory we're listing, the price points we're listing it at, to determine whether or not it moves, what the market's like for the inventory that we are listing. Because, if it's got good sell-through, it's going to move faster. If it is harder to find, it's going to move faster. If it's priced better, it's going to move faster. If it's promoted, it's going to move faster. All these things are factors. So keep in mind the things that you can do, the things you can control, things you can affect in terms of how your items sell, so that you can be ready for what's coming up, because it's about to get fast, it's about to get busy, and we're about to make our money for the year, I think, in this next quarter. Hopefully things are going to improve economically soon as well, and that'll help all of us. The better the economy does, the better all of us will do. So guys, I love you. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know this ain't much of a video. I've been doing, a lot more than this here lately, but I thought, I didn't have anything big to talk about. So I figured, throw a what sold out there, give you something to see, say hello to everyone, and let you know again that I love you. God loves you guys, and whatever you do, don't you ever, ever give up. And I will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.